Hey guys, Cody with CJC Off-Road, and today we're going to talk about setting or Dodge adjustable track bar. The bar we have here today is a Carli Suspension track bar for 2014 and up, Ram 2500 and 3500. These same adjustment techniques are going to apply to a Thuren fabrication bar as well, or really any bar that uses a Heim and jam nut style adjustability. Now, if you did get a Icon or Synergy track bar, these rules aren't going to really apply to you. However, most of the brands do use this style Heim joint with the jam nut. The first step we really need to take is going to be to clean any kind of packing material or anti-seize off of the Heim joint. This is mainly due to the anti-seize being just used as a packing supply, just to keep the Heim joint from getting seized in there. And so we clean these off because we recommend using red Loctite on the jam nut as well as the Heim joint itself. I use just some brake parts cleaner, some parts cleaner to get all of the anti-seize off. From here, the next step is going to be setting the track bar. Typically, most of the manufacturers recommend a 39 1/8 measurement. So this is a center to center measurement. Now, what that means is you're going to measure from the center of the hole, not the edge to the edge. So keep that in mind. Also, when doing this, it is pretty handy to have a second set of hands available. Now again, we always recommend using red Loctite at this step of the process. Using the Loctite on both the jam nut and the threads of the Heim joint. The main purpose is just to avoid any accidental loosening from hard off-roading or articulation where the jam nut may get hit by something. You really want to avoid it ever coming loose. Commonly, anytime someone does have an issue with like a Carli or Thuren track bar, it really isn't even a manufacturer defect, it is typically a loose jam nut. So from here, we're going to go ahead and apply a pretty heavy amount of thread lock on the Heim joint itself. And then from there, we're also going to apply it on the jam nut once we get to tightening it. All right, so again, now this measurement is going to be a center to center measurement. It's not to the edge of the Heim joint or edge of the track bar. So keep this in mind. You also want to use a straight across measurement, not a measurement that wraps the bend of the bar or anything of that sort. So we're actually 100% spot on first try. And then from here, what you're gonna want to do is, that's where this vise comes in really handy, or using a press, or in a pinch you can actually even use the trailer hitch of your truck by just putting the hitch pin straight through the end of the track bar. But one thing you're going to want to really keep in mind is all of these joints need to remain parallel. The track bar really loses its strength and loses its ability to stay together once this jam nut comes loose. So again, we use a crescent wrench on this side. You're going to want to use either a large crescent wrench, or we use a crow's foot on a torque wrench to properly torque this. From here, you basically just need to tighten this nut. Now again, there are some torque specs that Carli Suspension and Thuren Fabrication give you for the jam nuts. I know a lot of people aren't going to have this tool set up because it's probably about $300 when you get the torque wrench and the crow's foot for a one-time torquing. You really want to do your best to just make sure it is as tight as possible and that it is still aligned. Now again, this is where two hands or four hands really comes in handy in order to make sure everything is oriented properly. We typically just use a crescent wrench here, and we'll go ahead and get this thing torqued. All right, so from here, you just want to make sure that, again, you reach proper torque and that the jam nut is fully seated. And lastly, that these joints are still parallel. All right, now that pretty much sums it up. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via phone or email or any of our social media platforms, or even drop a comment down below. We'll be happy to help you out. Again, the most crucial part about this is just this jam nut always stays tight. So if you have clunking or anything like that on a pre-existing Thuren Carli track bar, be sure to check this jam nut, because chances are that's going to be the culprit. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Thanks.